Did the judge in the Diddy case signal that he's about to pop Diddy with some significant time? Now, you remember after the convictions, Diddy asked to be released on bond pending his sentencing, and the judge said no. Well, defendants ask for that all the time. That's not unusual. And especially when they are getting time, it's unusual for a judge to let them out pending the sentencing, because then they would just have to go right back. But Robert Shapiro gave an interview, and he's remember, one of the attorneys in the O.J. Simpson case. He gave an interview where he thought that him denying that bond request is a signal that he's about to give him significant time. Now, I don't know if that's the case or if the judge is just saying, look, you're only going to get a little bit of time. Just go ahead and serve it and get it over with instead of getting out and having to go back in. Either one of those is entirely possible. But Diddy was asking for a special favor there, and he didn't get it. And he asked for another one, and that is to have his sentencing hearing pushed up. The process of this, we've talked about it before, the process of this is that once there's a conviction or a guilty plea, the case goes over to the probation agent who has been assigned to that case, and that probation agent will write a report called a pre-sentence investigation report, a PSR. And in that report, they will recommend a sentence to the judge as to where he falls within the sentencing guidelines. Now, it takes a minute to get this report. They take probably a couple of months generally to do that. Diddy is asking for this whole thing to be sped up and he can go ahead and get in on the sentencing. But the judge said no today to that too. But once you get that pre-sentence investigation report in, then it goes to the parties, and both parties can file an objection to that. And then they will try to work out those objections to that pre-sentence investigation report. And then if they can't, that's what happens at the sentencing hearing. You can literally call witnesses and have a little mini trial on sentencing, but the judge ultimately decides what the sentence is. The important thing to remember is that these sentencing guidelines and whatever goes in that report is not mandatory. It is advisory. So did the judge sentence he's going to break outside of the guidelines and give him a heavier sentence? Because when they do, they can break out of these guidelines. There's two ways you do that. The government can move for an upward variance, and the defense can move for a downward variance, asking for a lesser sentence. The government could come in, very well could come in and ask for an upward variance in this case, and the judge could very well give it. But even if he doesn't want to, he can go out on his own and give him a higher sentence than what that little 2.5, 3 years sentence that Diddy's probably expected to get. He can do whatever he wants because they're advisory. They're not mandatory. So I would like to tell you what's going to happen, but I gave up my mind reading talents a long time ago. So we're just going to have to wait till October to see.